gagawin dito ng side ng SKIDA. Sa pagkakalaman ng SKIDA, there were times na nagkraga sila. Tapos, after that, nung second phase ng banning natin, binan out na nung kalaban nila yung Yasuo. So, they don't want that potential. But, for SSE, ito na nga yung sinasabi natin, 2 power picks na pwede nilang kunin. One of that is going to be the Tonton and the other one is the Lilia na nababan out kanina pa.
Yeah, and this is one of the first 2 picks na nakita natin, not in this game, not in this series, but in the prior series. Renekton, Lilia, and then one of the ADCs or potentially even a roam as well, or support rather, that can come through sa unang rotation for the side of SSE. But SKIDA really going all in on their first rotation here. Ezreal and Lissandra locked in kaagad, and it seems like SKIDA wants to play one of the rules and techniques that SSE has done in game number 1.
And Varus ang hinover dito, but they would actually go for the Jace first kasi kailangan din nila ng poking potential. They need the alam mo yon, presence of a champion that can actually poke people down or even burst people down kapag nakalapit siya.
Yeah, and this sends to me a huge signal that SSE wants to go early game. Kasi ano ba ang champion sila? Renekton, really strong in the early game to put pressure and really sustainable as well. Jace, napakalakas din ng champion na yan in terms of level 3. Kaya niya lang ilabas 6 na skills sa kanyang skill sets. So really, really strong in the early game setup. So SKIDA has to pinpoint ano ba ang pwede nating i-ban? What is a good fit on these early game pressure na pwedeng piliin pa ng SSE?
Alam mo yung I really like yung band dito ng Garen just because it actually offsets a lot of champion skills para side ng SSE.
Ayun.
Given that yung itsura nila dito, they have the Renekton, the Lilia, pati na yung Jace. Ang daming combos na pwedeng mawala eh. Ang daming combos na kapag ka lumapit ka sa may harapan, pwede ka ma-silence and that could be the burstone na hanap nila. But this time around, it's going to be the Leona. Alam natin na yung Leona can actually chain CC somebody.
For sure.
At with the help of the Renekton, mas kaya pa nilang paigtingin yung hawak nila doon sa champion na yon.
Yeah, and it's also an early game aggressive support.
Exactly.
So SSE, medyo coin flip ang kanilang composition dito if they do not secure the snowball and that big advantage in the early game. Delikado ang magaganap dito, but SKIDA very smart on their movements as well. Olaf to counter all the crowd control na meron ng SSE.
They do have the stuns coming out from the Leona, the Renekton. Pero kasi once na naka-ultimate ang isang Olaf, they don't have to think about it as much. Pwede siyang mag-break through dun for front lines, go to the back lines. Alam naman natin, increase movement speed, attack speed, and all of that. Pero with the Jax here, mukhang ang gagawin nila dito is Jace mid, tapos Renekton top, and Saya.
Yeah, this can actually work. And the reason why it has the potential to work is because they have an AP jungler in the form of Lilia. So hindi to straight out AD comp, but instead actually double downing on those AP burst potentials.
Somewhat in the lane, kayang sumabay. Well, you can actually treat the Jace as a marksman. Yung duo lane, pwede siyang tumambay doon. Especially against the Ez.
Yeah.
Diba?
And there's a big possibility. Kung hindi Leona ang pinili ng side ng SSE, there's going to be a much harder time for them to put Jace in the bottom lane. Kasi si Jace naman, all in yan kung all in. Gusto niyang ilabas yung hammer niya for that crowd control, for that extra amount of damage. And Leona, in and of itself, with a Zenith Blade, can close the distance, tapos si Jace magpo-follow through. So really strong to, but there's still that problem ng Ezreal napakabilis on his foot as well.
Alam mo, yung potential pa lang doon sa may baba, I feel like dito talaga masasement na gustong gawin ng side ng SSC dito is yung early game. They had the Renekton, the Lilia, and the Jace nung early game, nung early 3 picks natin. But now, kahit nga yung Jace mismo nilagay nila doon sa may duo lane. So ibig sabihin talaga, this is going to be somewhat of a problem sa side ng SKIDA kasi nga nag-set up sila ng isang, sabihin lang natin, conventional lineup na usual talaga na makikita mo. You have your marksman on that duo lane. This is going to be a very, very hard task to do. If ever man makakuha ng early game momentum yung side ng SSE dito, how do you stop them?
Yeah, landslide na kung landslide. And that's pretty much what SKIDA wants to delay They have to play for time. Marami silang scaling champions sa draft nila and they could play through it. Hindi sila pwedeng maging aggressive, hyper-aggressive, especially the likes at level 3. More specifically, ang daming utility na meron ng SSE na kayang magpatugba in those early ganks, especially those Lilias on those long-range skill shots. So kailangan nila pag-isipan, ano pwedeng galawan dito. Isiyan lang natin, pag nagiging aggressive na yung kalaban, we have to respect it.
Let us see, ikaw, may opinion ka. Ilagay mo dyan sa comment section kung ano yung tingin mo sa draft na ginawa dito. And if ever man na gumana yung plano dito ng side ng SSE, we might even have a 11-minute, 12-minute game dito. Tops. Yun yung pacing na hinahanap nila dito. And we don't usually see that, but now it is a possibility.
For sure. So now, it's all about settling down. Chill for now. SSE wants that early game advantage. SKIDA has to play it safe. Play for Zen mode. Play for the likes of Chicken Enjoyer and Helios. And yes, meron silang early game with that Olaf, with that Graga, still really strong at those level 3 setups. But SSE pa rin ang nangunguna in the early game landslide potential.
And Tonte against Chicken Enjoyer. Kanina nakita natin na first blood ng isang Camille yung Jax. Let us see if Tonte could do the same thing, the same feat dito sa ating game number 2.
And I like how you mentioned about the top lane. Si Renekton, pati si Jax. And these two are pretty much on even footing. Kunyari, nauna ka mag-counter-strike, magkaka-advantage si Renekton. Pag si Renekton nauna mag-all-in, may advantage si Jax.
But right now, si Chicken Joyer ay tutumba ng diretso.
And yun yung sinabi natin kanina. Kung nanguna ang Counter-Strike, wala na siya pang alis. Wala na siya pang drawback ng kalaban niya and Tonte could go for the all-in. And that just gives them the first blood.
Fairly great call and fairly, well, not fairly, but actually a great call para dito kay Nymeria na nandun siya sa may area nung panahon na wala ng Counter-Strike. At nung nangyari yun, they took that chance, they took that opening, and they get 3 plates dito sa ating Torre.
But here, into the bottom side.
At nandito na si Gragas ang kanilang tinutumba. And look at this, the damage output coming up from Tactical. Ito na yung sinasabi natin. They might actually just go for yung kabila, yung SKIDA, they're going for pokes.
Yeah.
Nagpo-poke lang sila. Gusto lang talaga nila pababain yung buhay. Pero ang SSE, they have other things in mind. Gusto nila mag-take down ng tao.
Yeah. And for now, gusto ko yung ginagawa ng SSE and even SKIDA into the bot lane specifically. They went in for the reset. Bakit? Wala na silang flash. Wala na silang summer spell. SKIDA, low on HP as well. So that HP disadvantage, hindi sila pwede magstay on their respective lane. And considering the minion is a cannon wave, they could just sit around, freeze a wave in the middle, and SSE and SKIDA both can come back at the lane wherein they can still farm. They can still be on even footing.
But si Fate 1 dito, hindi pa natin siya nakikitang masyadong umiikot. Probably just trying to get his core items dito para, alam mo yun, pagdating ng mga objectives sa ating mapa is ready na siya to fight and hindi din siya mapupush back basta-basta.
3 minutes na ang laban natin, first blood for SSE, and soon enough, we might see a switch in lane. And possibility even now kung saan napapalapit-lapit na ang objectives natin in a minute and a half's time. So tingnan natin kung paano magiging galawan dito. Gragas will be really important kung paano mapapanalo ng SKIDA in terms of those objectives. Explosive cast, napaka-importante niyan. And for the likes of SSE, what they could do is be really aggressive. This point onward will be their time to shine.
Zen mode, on the other hand, rotating to that middle lane, just trying to farm up, just trying to secure yung kanyang mga items dito. But onto the top lane, yung clash lane natin, yung mga junglers magkakaroon ng away. Yung Torre, mababa na, pero nandito na kanyang mga members sa side ng SSE. They're going in! 2 miyembro ang nawala, barrage, magagamit, pero it doesn't hit anybody. Wala siyang natulong dun.
And this is what we're mentioning, right? SSE, 4 minutes onward, it is their time to shine. Napakadami nilang CC, napakadami nilang utility. They already at level 5, so ultimates are available. So ganking on top side of the map gives them the advantage to the Hextech Mimic. But I don't even think they're going for it, as they have already gotten the Tower First Blood and are currently sitting at 3k gold lead.
At nakapwesto na rito yung mga members ng side ng SSC. Let us see kung paano din yung magiging ambag dito ng isang Olaf. Fate 1, kanina nabigyan na sila sa may taas, and right now, paano ba siya hanap ng pwesto dito? Medyo malayo kaniyang pinanggalingan at grabe yung damage na nagawa nila kay Chicken Joyer.
Yeah, now SSE has the advantage in terms of getting the objective. Si Fate 1, hindi na niya kaya mapaglaban dito, as if ever they went for the Dragon objective, SSE can push.
But they actually engage onto that Ez, and Ez will go down. Ito na nga, nakikita na natin the fruits of their labor, the fruits of their draft. Grabe yung grabe yung pagkakadraft nila dito. Talagang sagasa kung sagasa, Infinity.
Yeah, that's pretty much a name the game for SSE because they're on a timer. Pag hindi sila naging aggressive dito, soon enough, 15 minutes into the game, 20 minutes into the matchup, SKIDA will outscale them. SKIDA will be able to answer back, so they have to be aggressive and they have to take note of their positioning. Hextech Mimic now being started.
At nandito na kanyang mga members gumamit na ng Dominus dito, but there is the Gragas with the body slam. Pinipigilan na talaga nila yung mga members dito ng side ng SKIDA from actually taking this. The Smite battle will be won by the Lilia. SSE, they're cleaning everything up. Kinukuha nila lahat ng resources. Kahit tumumba si Leona dito, si Disaster, Leona pa rin to. That is a support for what? Si Chicken Joyer, si Fate 1, tsaka si Gragas.
Tatlo, lahat na patumba. Kasama pa si Nymeria at Thief in the Night. SSE, they needed that, but you stole it away. So napakalaki ng advantage ngayon ng SSE. 6k gold lead in 6 minutes.
1 per minute, no?
Oh.
Ang galing sa math.
Grabe, quick maths by Butters. 2024.
Alam mo ngayon, si Disaster dito talagang pinapaklik niya na lang yung, kiniklik niya na lang yung wave. Sabi niya, darating na si Jace. Babakbakin na namin to, pero it's up to Gragas and Ez to stop them. Pero ang pinakakailangan nila bantayan dito is yung involvement na pwedeng gawin ni Nymeria dito. Nandyan na siya sa may area, they can actually try and take this turret sa may mid. That will open up yung jungle dito ng side ng SKIDA, and that might bring more problems para sa kanila.
Yeah, and this is the game plan, right? You mentioned it, they need the tier 1 turret in mid lane. Once they do, it opens up the map control in their advantage, and up next would be the tier 1 in bot lane. Once that happens, it's SSE's game. They control the whole map, they control each and their respective objectives.
Nahuli ang si Leona dito.
Disaster!
Casks. Ang ganda ng pinakita nilang setup, but they utilized a lot of resources para lang mahuli yun. They even used the Gragas ultimate for that.
Unexpected yung naganap doon. I thought it was SSE who was playing a bit more aggressive, but not like this, kung saan mapipitas sila ng ganun-ganun lang. Acker Nymeria.
At Efren Bata Reyes, makakatakas din siya, pero merong ultimate na gagamitin. This could be a setup
All
na
in.
hinahanap nila dito, and they go in. Aker dito, trying to get away. Nandun siya sa loob ng pero with an outplay. Barrage, maiiwasan din. And Aker dito, the unkillable Emon King. Kulang kasi siya ng epe, kaya Emon lang.
Magician siya, kung magician. Pinakita niya kung bakit siya ganun. Isang legendary nga naman na Efren Bata Reyes for SKIDA was able to retreat unscathed from that engage. And I think that's the reason why Lissandra's just too good. Kaya niyang i-freeze ang kanyang sarili, extra safety, kaya niya mag-close ng distance or retreat from a long range engage. And kayang-kaya to ng isang Lissandra, which makes her so optimal in those engages. But for now, everything went quiet down. Everyone will wait for the Infernal Drake, as this will be very important, lalo na para sa SKIDA, to deny the soul potential.
Pero doon talaga sa may mid lagi may presensya ng tao They're baiting this mid lane turret para kahit paano ay may mga tao dito, and they can actually move around sa may mapa, try to convert it into a kill. Pero si Disaster dito, grabe din yung tapang niya because alam niya na kahit ma-takedown siya, grabe din yung kayang gawin ng kanyang mga teammates, and SKIDA dito na pa-disaster na naman. Disaster! Grabe yung kanya ginagawa at kumahabol si Aker dito, and Aker will take down etong Ez. sama mo na si Efren Bata Reyes, sinargo sa muka.
Perfect time for them. Apat ang napatumba. Infernal Drake will come up in 30 seconds. And on top of that, makakuha pa sila ng Tier 2 turret. It's all coming down into their favor. 10k gold lead ang meron sila. And Infernal Drake will be up next.
Alam mo kasi si Efren Bata Reyes,
Ano
nandyan
yan?
pa lang siya. Wala pa yung presensya kasi ni Petuan. Siya si Jungle Bustamante. Kumbaga ano yan partner yan duopol yan
Partner sila, no?
Partner yan, kailangan
Oo.
mag-partner dito si Efren Bata Reyes tsaka si Jungle Bustamante.
Ganun ba yun? So, paano nila magagawa yun? Kailangan nila kumakot ng jungle Ano yan?
Oo. Kailangan muna nila galawang 8 ball. Sabi nga kanina ni Efren Bata Reyes, wala boss, 8 ball lang. O, galawang 8 ball.
Okay, tingnan natin kung makakabawi dito ang SKIDA because right now, SSE already on Soul Point. Now looking on top side of the map, it's a 4-man rotation coming in from them and this leaves the weak side open. SSE has control over the bottom lane and they need to send someone if they want to deny the farm from Acre because right now, the lane is pushing and SSE is playing safe.
And meron pagkasama-sama dito yung mga members sa side ng SKIDA. Actually, tutulak talaga sila dito and they want to take down etong mid lane at takbuhan na ang mga members. Pero may wraparound na pwedeng gawin. Oy, naku mo! Ang dami nahuli dito! It's a disaster! Grabe yung skill na ginamit ni disaster doon! Ang daming na-stun!
3 down na, napatumba, SKIDA, Chicken Enjoyer, and Zen Mode na ang natetera, and SSE can landslide them. And this is the fear that we were looking for. Kung nag-landslide ang SSE in the early game, it's over, and they're looking for the inhibitor mid lane on top of that.
At tumba ang mid lane turret. They want more. They can smell the win. They can smell match point at this point on. SKIDA, they need to make something happen. Itong Olaf na to is at 1-3-1. Lissandra though, may paramdam ako na kaya pa rin naman nila in terms of scaling. They just have to delay the game.
And now, SKIDA, ang hirap pumili ng struggle na kailangan nila harapin. Because one, macro, SSE, pag nagsama-sama ang SKIDA, looking for ganks, looking for plays, magpa-play safe ang SSE in mid and on the side lanes kung saan yung isang lane na naman nagsisplit push, yan si Acker. Yun yung isang problema nila. Pangalawa, 12k gold lead ng SSE. And ang tanong, paano nila ito mababawi? And on top of that, Soul Point na ang SSE.
And the Baron is now up. Kakasama sila dito. Si Tonton dun sa may baba, pinagtitripan. Tonton Renekton will get away at habang gumawa siya ng ganong klaseng play, may ibang inaatupag dito yung side ng SSE. Lumaban dito si Jace at may natumba sa kabila si Tactical, napalo! Si Paul, si Pate, grabe ka Pate!
Pero not worth it to. Kasi SKIDA, nakakuha man lang sila ng kill. Pero SSE, nakuha nila ang Baron. But nevertheless, SKIDA nakapag-push ng dalawang tore. At yun ang isang problema nila kanina. Kulang sila ng gold. And from a 12k gold deficit, napaikli nila to an 8k gold difference.
Nymeria just making things happen dito sa buong mapa. Isa siya sa mga key players dito. Why map control is so hard para sa ng SKIDA. Pagka may mga oras na kailangan mong gumawa ng play, lagi siyang nandun para pigilan yun.
Yeah, and tingnan mo yung position ngayon ng SSE. They wanna target the bot lane turret. Kung saan nag 3-2 split sila. They wanna put pressure on mid lane as well while simultaneously going for that bot lane.
And Acre dito with the T-Hex. At nagkahulihan pa at si SKIDA dito. They're really just having fun. Habang nangyayari ito lahat, nagkakasigawan na. At ito na ang laban na hinahanap nila. Si Olap! Olap na Olap! Palumpalo! Yung shield! Ang laki! Ang laki ng shield! Ay, tumba! Tumba talaga siya. Pero lumalaban yung mga miyembro. Si Tonton tumumba. Andito na 3 miyembro pa rin ng side. Ng side ng SSE ang nasa kanila. Pwede pa nilang i-push etong top lane.
2-for-1 trade from that engage SKIDA. They were able to push back yung kinakatakutan nila na mabawas or masira ang crystal. But now, 40 seconds before the Mountain Drake comes up, and this will be the next target by SSE. Soul Point na sila. Isang dragon na lang, makakuha na nila yung soul, and this will give them much of a bigger advantage.
And Tactical is there. Siya talaga ang primary target dito nila Pate 1 eh. Nakikita ko kanina pa eh. Talaga pinagtitripan siya eh. Tinahabol siya eh. Minsan nagkakagnak papasok sa kanya, pinapalo lang yung ulo na parang buko. Pak! Ginaganon lang. Tapos kapag ka namatay siya, okay na si Olaf doon.
Pwede na, no? 1-for-1 lang talaga ang target. And hopefully a lot more after that fight and after that all in. But now, Mountain Drake is up. SSE, Soul Point. Paulit-ulit na lang natin sinasabi. Pero ito kasi ang isang winning condition. Pag nakuha nila ang 3 dragon, tapos na ang laban.
Kumbaga, 3 legendary monster ang kailangan. At mabibigay lang nila to. True Shot Barrage ginamit, but no steals will happen, and that is the Dragon Soul. 3 ang nakuha. And this is a dire situation para sa ng SKIDA.
Aker! Aker!
Uy! Aker! 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 Aker, tumba!
Oo.
Wala, ang bilis eh.
Oo. Isang Aker lang. Sapat na.
Oo. Aker.
Oo. Ayun.
Ang hirap sabihin ng pangalan niya. Basta ako tawag ko sa kanya si Aker eh.
Ano siya? 3 point. Zen mode! Wala na ngayon.
Mukha ba nagbabasketball si Aker, pre?
Tama ka naman doon, no? Pero ito na nga. SSE, nakakuha pa sila ng tier 2 turret on top lane. And Baron will be the next target. And SKIDA has to deny it. Pag binigay nila ang Baron, it's over.
Baron will be the point of contest. Gragas nagpakita na, binatuan niya. Oy, tol, easy muna kayo. Ito muna, oh. Damage muna ng onte, oh.
Disaster, possessions, really well. Waiting for that Solar Flare along with the Zenith Blade. All into, turn around. Kung saan ang pwedeng gawin ng SSE. At ito na nga.
And the Solar Flare will be there. At tumba agad dito ang Jax. At nakikita naman natin yung pagpasok ng ibang mga members dito, nahuli sa gitna mga kaibigan, pero sa likod, yung gusto nila, yung nasa likod, si S dito nabigyan at si Akali lumipad parang si Superman. Grabe! Ang layo ng inabot!
And SSE with ace, they're looking for the finish. They're wanting to close up the series. They're wanting for that match point, and they will lock it down 1 game away to go to the grand finals.
Match point as said by Infinity. SSE, they are out for blood. They smell it right now. At gustong-gusto na nilang tapusin tong game na to.
Isa na lang. Yun na lang ang kulang nila para makapunta sa grand finals. And at this point, a lot has to be changed. Kaya pang mag-reverse sweep optimally for the side of SKIDA. Pero at this point, the composition is a huge struggle para sa laban na to. Because time and time again, from game number 1 and game number 2, SSE has shown their intelligence in the game.
Ganito lang naman yung nangyari para sa akin eh. They always have that late game potential to scale, but never did they never have the time to actually get into the mid-game, late game na unskated sila. If ever they can control yung ginagawa dito ng mga members ng side ng SSE, this could have been a very different story, Infinity. But at this point, even yung mga objectives natin, they go to the side of SSE.
Yeah, and yun yung sinabi natin kanina. Bakit? SSE, early game draft, lakas talaga ng possibility nila mag-all-in the early game to snowball and landslide. And sabi natin sa SKIDA, they have to play it safe. They have to play it late. But all of these occasions, SSE nakakahanap pa rin ng location, which is the top lane, or even the other lanes as well, na kaya nilang i-punish, and they're just getting so much gold out from that. And look at that, 9 minutes into the matchup, 6k gold lead na agad ang SSE.
We did talk about Nymeria every time na makikita natin yung mga plays niya. Pero this game, I feel like you have to give it to Disaster. Grabe, Leona, plays na nagagawa niya dito. And actually, yung solar flare niya, it hits so many people at times na parang dun pa lang natatapos na yung buong team fight.
Yeah, multiple occasions, one like this, wherein at least 2 people yung natatamaan ng solar flare. And alam naman natin, in terms of numbers, pag nakakuha ka ng number advantage, it's pretty much your fight to win.
Nakikita nyo yung mga plays na ginagawa nila dito. Talagang si Zenmood, nahabol lang siya dito ng flail. Inikot-ikot lang, parang ginawang hula hoop sa air eh. Tapos, natumba na siya. Nymeria, 24,000 damage dealt to heroes. champions rather.
Yeah, lakas ng pinakita doon. I mean, he was the set maker for the team. Pumunta siya sa top side of the map, nakakuha ng kill. First blood, mapunta sa side ng SSE. After that, nag-rotate siya mid lane and side lanes consistently, time and time again. Nakakuha sila ng mga turrets. That just gave them so much gold injection. Kung nakita natin yung graph kanina, it's pretty much all in their favor.
Nymeria disaster made that game happen. Para sa akin the mere fact na kaya nilang mag-disengage with the Nymeria, the fact that they can actually engage with the Leona, naging interchangeable pa yung dalawa. Na pwede din naman mag-disengage yung Leona, pwede rin mag-disengage bigla yung Nymeria. So, it's a very scary position to be in if you're a SKIDA. And si SKIDA dito, 1 game away, maging SKBD na sila.
Oo, isa na lang ang ipanalo nila. May grand finals spot na sila. So tingnan natin kung anong adjustments ang gagawin ng SKIDA or kung anong gagawin ng SSE para mapanalo na to in a best of 5 series to go into the grand finals. We're just gonna take a short break. When we come back, it's game 3.